Now, we'll shift gears. Get back my black pen here, and we're going to talk about standards. Standards are rules of communication. Okay? Oops. Now we need to get that back on here. Standards are very important. They do things like, well, let's just talk a second. Now we can turn back to my pretty face, because now I get to pretend to use a telephone. Okay, oops, sit up straight here. So I got my cell phone here, and I dial bleep, 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 or it doesn't bleep, does it, when I'm on a cell phone? Type in the number, I hit the green phone button. This is my wife's phone number. When I put the phone up to my ear, oh, I hold it like this, what am I going to hear? I'm going to hear sort of a ringing, like pulsing sound, right? Standard. You got following me? There's like a rule here. So I hear the ringing and pulsing sound, and then the ringing and pulsing sound stops. There's kind of a little pause, and then what should I hear? A voice, and it should say hello, right? If that's all it says, so it doesn't say hello, you have reached blah, 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 blah. So it just says hello, then I will, I have to say hello first. So I have to say hello, right? So I say hello, and then we can begin talking. Hi, would you please come and pick me up today? Oh, what time are you going to need to ride? I'm going to be done at today, 3. You guys know that? 3. That'll be fun. Then we don't have to take a break. 3 o'clock, we're out, so come and pick me up. Okay, I'll let you go. Thanks. Bye. Bye. Click. All right, so there's rules on there. Now let's go back to the overhead. You guys can do without here. There's 2 sets of rules. One rule is what kinds of things you can say. That is, what words you use. We'll call them commands. And we'll call it, I don't know, let's call it content. So just basically, what kind of words can you say? In a way, hello is like a command or a request. Let's just kind of think about that. The other rule is when to say things, okay? So there's timing issues here. For example, when the one person, I expect to hear the ringing first, then I expect to hear the hello first, and after the hello, I need another, like I need to say hello back, okay? So we have here a, response after a request. There's just simply a set of rules here. So when I'm thinking about a web service, this protocol is actually called HTTP, and we need to do things like I have a web browser on my PC. Okay, there's a lovely window on here, and it's drawing a picture, or I want it to draw a picture. I'm connecting to a web server. Okay, and you guys remember my little phone thing, or it wasn't a phone, that was a floppy disk. So I've got these applications that are connected together, and what I need to do here is I need to send a request. Okay, so I need to ask the server for a file, and then I expect to get, this is number 1. Number 2, I expect a response. Okay, that is, I'm going to get a file back. And we've seen, for example, if I want to type in, odu.edu, and I'm just going to type index here. That's actually the default, index.htm. This might be the file I'm requesting, and I want the server to send that file back. So this is in my address bar. I'm asking for this file, and I should get the file back. We're cool with this? Now, there is a limit. This is a computer program, right? We have to program, I say we in sort of the business sense, or the whole field. Someone had to program this. And we'll just put here app. somebody has to program the app to handle all of the commands, and it has to deal with the timing. Okay? So if we go up here, there's the what to say and the when to say it. Someone in the business, is going to have to program this app to do it. Now, we aren't going to program a web server so smart that it can handle something like, I pick up the phone, here's my imaginary phone, beep, 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 and I listen, and instead of saying hello, I hear someone's last name. Schmidt? I said Schmidt because that's what they say in Germany is the last name. Now, the first time that happened to me, it was a little weird, but I did not freak out and just hang up the phone, right? I'm a person, and I can figure, oh, maybe they do things differently here. The sad thing is, in a computer land, right, the client can't send some request for some strange way in a command the server doesn't understand, and the server can figure it out. There's no figuring out, right? Every single thing has to be programmed. And so it's limited. We'll put here. Limited number of commands. And we'll just put, what did we say here? Content. So we're limited in what we can say because it's all programmed. Sorry, let me make sure I'm doing this. So if we talk about a request, an HTTP request is actually very simple, or it can be. The basic one is called a GET command. And so it just becomes GET, and for this, where it was ODU, EDU, I actually send the command just for the file I need. Okay, so I'm going get/index.htm. So that's my command. There's some other stuff and a couple of more lines of data here. There's there can be a lot more lines of data. The response is basically, okay, here's the file, plus some other stuff. So there's some stuff. Oops, sorry. There's some stuff. Then there is the file. And then we're done. Okay? Nice and simple. So this is normal HTTP. Every time I click on a link, get. Boom, 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 boom. So after a while, people were like, hey, this web is lame. This is like in the early 90s. What I want to be able to do is be able to type in my username and password or put in my credit card information. And so someone basically tagged on where you could put get, and then they would put a question mark. You guys ever seen this? Then it might say username, uname equals R. Haynes. Y'all seeing that? You've seen that, right? In the web browser, like in your login in, you'll be like cust ID, and there'll be some huge long thing. Because by the way, you don't want this short stuff. We'll worry about that one later. So the question mark is just a fancy new way. We have the same number of commands, so the web server isn't any different. What it does is it passes this data to another thing to deal with it. Okay? So let's just kind of add it on. When you actually look at HTTP, I think there's 5 right now. There's get, post, head, trace, and I'm sure there's more, but not that many. There's not that many commands out of this. So you still get a response back. So that was fun. Oh, by the way, so just talking about the commands, after a while they were like, well, I like this username equal and other stuff, but it turns out there's this length of this whole mess is limited in how long the field can be. I think you get 64K in here. And that's not big enough to put in if you want to send in an email and put or upload. If I'm attaching onto an email and I want to upload a pretty picture of my friends, that's when they came up with post, and that has a bigger field length. So there you go. Little trivia for you today.